Welcome to Growth Happens in the Dirt, end of chapter 6, beginning of chapter 7. Slow brain. I found that my brain was slow, and although I was in agony, some days when the family were out of the house, I would sit outside for hours and watch the ants. I was completely reliant on my therapist as my lifeline to the external world. My appointments were the only structure I had created. It didn't matter if I didn't make the bed. It didn't matter if I showered. The longer I was out of the human rhythm, the less I had. It was very easy while not working to slip into, "Oh, I'll do it later." And then when the children came home with my husband in the evening, I would start to feel resentful that I hadn't got done what I wanted to do. When I discussed this with my occupational therapist, she suggested creating a routine based on what I had to do, starting small amidst the stays in the dark cupboard, to create a structure in my day. Every evening, I would list what was important to me to get done for the next day. I started with the small steps as she suggested. 1. Make my bed. 2. Shower. 3. Eat. 4. Rest. 5. Do the eye exercises. 6. Rest. 7. Exercise. By creating a rhythm in the day, I started to feel as if I was achieving more. I still wasn't doing all the rehabilitation suggestions, as my energy would deplete very quickly, but I was gently nudged by the specialists to start increasing my capacity. On suggestion from the specialists that I had avoided, one was meditation. I used to do a lot of yoga in my youth, but I was resisting adding another thing to the pile of rehabilitation. Even though I was not meant to be on the screen, my curiosity piqued as to whether I could find a quick guided meditation to support my aching brain. I found a yogi online called Sadhguru, who teaches a technique incorporating meditation and humming. This seemed like a more active, relaxer type of mindfulness that appealed to my ADHD brain. As I sat in the lounge with my noise-cancelling earphones on, the smooth voice lulled me into the ultimate brain bath. When I opened my eyes after 12 minutes, I felt as if I could see. Sadhguru mentioned something called the vagus nerve, which I had never covered in my years of naturopathic study. I was intrigued. Because the meditation didn't make me feel sick, it became a firm addition to the daily ablutions. Tools. Creating structure. The brain thrives on certainty. For those of you going through a brain healing journey, your certainty may have been ripped out. The normal pattern of getting up and going to work may be gone. The normal motivation to get things done may be gone. But to heal, it is extremely important to create a morning routine that will set you up for the day. When you are setting up your morning routine, list on a piece of paper these things. What will make me feel like I have accomplished something today? As simple as making your bed. What will make me feel calmer today? It may be doing a meditation. What will make me feel energized today? It may be getting outside for some fresh air. And what will make me feel better today? Well, having a shower is a good place to start, and always ensuring you eat breakfast. When you have your short list of things that will help, put them into a structure that you can sustain. If you have ADD, ADHD like me, you may want to make a massive list of to-dos, but this won't work for concussion. You are better to choose 3 to 4 items that you know you can achieve every day and build the foundation from there. Tool, the vagus nerve and meditation. After a concussion, You move to a fight or flight mode due to the sympathetic nervous system and the calming part of the nervous system, the parasympathetic, shutting down. This affects the vagus nerve, also known as the vagal nerves, the main nerves of your parasympathetic nervous system. This system controls specific body functions such as your digestion, heart rate, and immune system. The vagal nerves carry signals between your brain, heart, and digestive system. The vagus nerve is important for you because it can help to regulate your nervous system and calm you down. Incorporating one of these suggestions in a daily practice can improve your mood and overall physical well-being. It is also unlikely to make you feel nauseous, which for us brain bangers is a major bonus. Ways to stimulate the vagus nerve. 1. Gargling with water for 60 seconds. 2. Singing or humming for 2 minutes. 3. Foot massage, even if you do it to yourself. 4. Cold water face immersion. Immerse your forehead, eyes, and at least 2/3 of both cheeks into cold water. 5. Laughter. Funny jokes and stand-up comedy. Get amongst it. Deep belly breathing. Breathing through a straw for 2 minutes. Or combining meditation with the mantra Aum as you are breathing deeply can help. Or you may like to use Amen. Chapter 7. Finding your why. Effort and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. John F. Kennedy. I still couldn't drive, but after 6 weeks of waiting, I was off to see the neuro-optometrist. A 2-hour drive left me nauseous, with the windy back roads threatening to send my stomach through my mouth in several directions. As I yelled at my husband, "Slow down," my emotional bunny went on the boil. We fought again. This time with no escape from the metal cage. The blistering argument raked over losing the business, him not being around to help me, and ending up with, well, maybe we should get a divorce. As we arrived, I was symptomatic, angry, and full of blame. As I sat in the waiting room for the neuro-optometrist, sunglasses on indoors, my brain pounded. My husband sat across from me in the waiting room, head down, unsure of what was going to happen to our marriage. "Mrs. Jolly?" Brenton Clark poked his quirky head out of his office. Immediately, I liked him. He reminded me of a mad scientist who was cooking up magic in his cave. He asked me about what had happened and explained what could be going on with my eyes in terms of my balance being completely knocked off kilter. And then a pivotal moment occurred. Before we began the rigorous testing, the neuro-optometrist asked, "Ms. Jolly, what is the one thing from your old life that you want back?" I took an inward breath. Not one person had asked me this in the months prior. Nobody had asked what was important to me in my rehabilitation. My why. What was important to me? It had all been about textbook exercises, taking stuff away, putting stuff in, and mechanical rehabilitation that made me feel like a brain cabbage. "Mrs. Jolly, what is the one thing from your old life that you want back?" I started weeping. Oh, it was so small. And yet at that time, it was my everything. I want to be able to drive again so I can pick my kids up from school. As I sat on the leather chair in the quirky little office filled with books, skeletons, and prisms, he adjusted his shirt and said firmly, "Right, well, The most important thing you need to be doing every day is your eye exercises, back and forth, just like you're at the intersection. I raised my eyebrows and laughed hysterically. My husband and the specialist gave each other the side eye from this outburst. What's funny? Brenton asked. Choking back laughter, I replied, I was told to do those weeks ago, but haven't been doing them because they make me feel sick. I didn't connect with why I had to do them, so I stopped. I felt like an idiot. The one thing that could have helped me, I had stopped doing because I didn't understand why I had to do them. I had no why. After 2 hours of intense testing, my head was exploding, my nausea through the roof. But we had established that my brain had been kicked about an inch to the right. The OT Vicky was right in her initial observation that my vision was off and the midline imbalanced. The good news, though, was that the problem now had a solution, and my new spectacles were going to be made and would be in my hands shortly. And once I have them, will I be able to drive again? I asked meekly. The specialist smiled. Yes, Mrs. Jolly. Once you have your glasses, you should be fine to pick up your children from school. Oh, my heart leapt. At last I had hope. As we drove home, I was filled with a new sense of the future. Suddenly I saw how much my husband was doing for me. I reached over to take his hand. I am so sorry for hurting you. I don't understand what's happening to me. You're the closest thing to me that I keep clawing. I love you. He squeezed my hand tightly. We'll get there, babes. We'll get there. Thank you for listening to Growth Happens in the Dirt. End of chapter 6, beginning of chapter 7. If you'd like to have the companion book as you're moving through this audiobook, it is now available on Amazon, on Kindle, and in paperback. Have a beautiful day and keep shining.